Damn. Uh.
Hey everyone, welcome to Aero Sentinel's channel. Today we are going to give you a quick update on the AEA manufacturer, as well as our plans and what we've done so far for this rifle. The other one, of course, we just sent back a few days ago, and the dealer, Airgun, New England Airgun, top-notch dealer. They've handled this well, very well in fact, and he's contacted me as well yesterday, letting me know that, hey, we received your rifle. You know, he was real apologetic. He's mentioned that, you know, he's never had so much issues with one manufacturer and their products in 1 week than he's had in 2 years for any of his products. So he's just not going to continue with being a dealer for the AEA line. So he's also mentioned he's going to be taking it down from his website. He's returned the rest of his stock back because there's too many problems, too many complaints, and he's just not equipped for it. He's got other manufacturers and things to handle rather than more issues. So I don't blame him. It does need to grow with regards to their support team from AEA. He's returned all of his guns. He hasn't gotten his money back yet from AEA, that sort of deal. So that's besides the point. The point is that, you know, you can have confidence in a dealer like that to purchase your products from, because, you know, he'll sort you out. He's not only taking the rifle back, but he's also paying for the shipping, the return shipping as well. He's refunding me for that as well. So that's good on them. I don't normally mention dealers, but that's just to let you folks know, give you folks an update, that sort of deal. The other thing is that, you know, with AEA, we've been responding between emails. This character named Tom with AEA, several of the questions and concerns I told him after mentioning all the issues, and you know, unfortunately we've already released the video, and at least now they're responding after the video was posted. And the concerns were the manuals. You know, it would have been great to include manuals, and they said they would put it on the website. He hasn't mentioned any website, but they said they'd put it on the website. The warranty, I asked about warranty. What's the warranty on these products? Well, it kind of was dodged to the point where, you know, it was more so of they're trying to establish a service center here in the US, that sort of deal. But yeah, they should have done that first. knowing that our market here in the US is a lot more demanding, a lot more competitive, and when you're new like that, you need to be on top of your game. So hopefully this is a lesson learned for them, and it's these videos aren't for out of malice or anything. I mean, it's we expected a cheap gun, and we got a cheap gun. And to take that into a different perspective, to countries like that, China, Philippines, Vietnam, all these, Thailand, all these companies like that from these countries, to them this might be quality, this might be at the highest standard, but when you come to a market such as the US, that's a different ball game. You cannot compare. You gotta be really on top of your game. You gotta test it, you gotta do all these things before, especially when you're new like that. That's more so, you have to be on top of your game. And yeah, hopefully if the company AEA has a will to pursue and a will to succeed, I hope they succeed. I hope they listen, and this will evolve and get better. But the way it is, the design factor, the concept is great. It's nice, but the design is lacking. So, the other response that I got with regards to quality checks, I said, you folks test these guns, this and that. This could have been avoided, because in the end result is that it hurts you folks as a company. And the response was that they had to apply for licenses to export it outside of China, and their government had to. It was rudely disassembled and during inspection process. So that was his reasoning behind the quality issues and the missing components and scratches and magnets and magazines not fitting. That was the excuse. But he said they checked every gun, they test every gun and every magazine. And he sent a clip of a person holding one model rifle with a box, with a plastic box of magazines, and taking each magazine, fired three shots, 4 shots, and then take the next magazine. That's not testing every rifle, every magazine. And that was a completely different model too. So, and when that reasoning and that logic told me that he was buying excuses, I pretty much didn't buy it, because, they test every magazine, every rifle. That is impossible for them to test the magazine and that rifle that was defective, because there was no way you could fit the magazine on that rifle. Impossible, until I reworked the magazine, okay? And they said they had to disassemble magnets and that sort of stuff. That's why maybe when they placed it back, it's now too far in and indented. I don't care. It's not really functional anyway, for what it's worth, that magnet. But anyway, it just overall, it was just a mess. And again, like I said, it's no malice. These are facts, not so much opinion. It's telling it that the rifle does need some issues addressing prior to getting it to the end user, prior to getting it to the dealers. Okay, that way it helps your dealers out too. Test them, thoroughly test them. Don't just test a few magazines and a single rifle. Test them all. He mentioned that there would be that he would talk to the dealer that I purchased it from. Well, the dealer called me yesterday indicating that he'd received my gun. When I mentioned it to him, and the email correspondence between me and Tom, or this person from AEA, he's indicated he's already reached out to the dealer that I got the air gun from, and that they would make sure that everything would be taken care of, which it is on the dealer's end. But when I asked about it, if someone spoke to John, the owner of New England Air Guns, he said he's never talked to anyone from AAA by the name of Tom, or someone reaching out in behalf from AEA regarding me as the consumer or a customer, and my issues with the rifle for replacement or refund or whatever else. So that was a bogus lie as well. But hey, you know, maybe that's just something that he said he would and he didn't. I give him the benefit of the doubt. That okay. But okay, aside from that, you know, the manuals and warranty and issues and this and that, missing baffles, okay, we know that from the other video, and those are facts. But what we could say now is our plans for this video, and I mean for this rifle, we're gonna test it out. Reliability wise, we can tell you right off the bat, more than likely it's not going to be as reliable of a rifle, because again, we mentioned the weak points and the design concept, and already it's leaking and O-rings and blah blah blah, and there is no spare parts. And that's one of the things we mentioned with the AEA to AEA as well. You know, I mentioned that the concept is great, but the problem is you sell the concept of interchangeability between any model, any configuration you want, but yet you don't sell kits. You only sell rifles. So in order for customers to be able to you know, do the configuration from changing barrels to from semi-auto to single shots to full auto, and bottles versus tubes, you know, that sort of deal. You're just selling the concept, but you're not selling the kits, and you literally have to buy entire rifles in order to interchange between the rifles, so you can interchange them. And the response was that they're working on it, because it's very hard to get rifles into the US. I totally get that, but you've succeeded with bringing in rifles in the US. Why didn't you send kits along with those rifles, so for customers, your potential customers that would want to purchase, you know, those kits, various tanks, various barrels, various configurations, you know, you sell them. You can't even buy extra magazines. That was like the biggest drawback I find out after trying to get extra magazines. No dealer has extra magazines. So again, it wasn't thought of, it was rushed, that sort of deal. I totally get it, but I hope and the competition is much more better if this company grows, because the more companies in this market, the better for us who are into this sport, hobby, whatever you call it, okay? But, you know, for us, we changed the carbon fiber bottle, I mean the alloy tank, which is fairly heavy. This gun went from stock weight of 6.6 pounds to 5.2 pounds, you know, yeah, 5.4, 5.5, something like that. So yeah, from just changing the bottle, the alloy bottle, to a carbon fiber, that weight significantly dropped from 6.6 to 5.5, a little over a pound, and that is great. And then, you know, we've we don't like this height. This is too high, but we have no choice at this point because we don't have a low mount that would be suitable for this configuration. And I really hate dovetails. I wish this thing came fitted with a Picatinny. That way this would have been perfect at a perfect height. If it was a Picatinny, you know, it would have been sitting pretty much right on, you know, where we like it. But it's sitting a little bit higher than we'd like, but that's okay. That's because it sits half an inch taller due to the Picatinny conversion kit that we put on here. Because majority of our mounts are 20 millimeter, you know, Picatinny type mount. So this was needed, and also to clear the magazine. So that's what that's like. And with it, as you see here, the way, as you see here, this thing is 7 with everything on it as is, like how you see it here. It is 7.7 pounds. Okay, literally 7.7 pounds in weight, and that's our lightest. It's so hard to do it this way. This is our lightest rifle to date, so that's a plus. It is our lightest rifle to date, and that's really great. So, but you know, functionality wise, I wish there was more adjustability. And I mean, I don't know how simple it would have been to just add a adapter here instead of this one, where you can't put an aftermarket, because it's definitely loud. Like, it's really loud. And the trigger, I wish the trigger was adjustable. We mentioned that in the other video already, but you know, we're gonna take it. We put a regulator here. We know right away going in that you know, the 20 shots that we tried, only 20 shots went through this rifle so far, but the 20 shots that we tried, it went from the shooting the Hades, the 26 point something, that's 26 grain, 26.54 I think, grain Hades, JSB Hades. It went from 900 to 1000, and then back down in just the 20, and it was like around 800, 700 in just the 20 shots. So there was no way you would have been getting 80 shots in that bottle, okay? Maybe from zero, you know, from 3600 PSI all the way to zero pressure on the tank, maybe, yeah, 80, but I do not believe usable 80, as probably that's what the published intentions were. But anyway, that's that. We put in a regulator, like you see here, but as said, oh, the weight, the 7.7 weight was as you see here, with exception of the regulator. The regulator only makes a few ounces difference anyway, but we just want to clarify that. The 7.7 pounds is everything you see here minus the regulator. We put in a regulator to see if we can make it a usable rifle instead of just a toy. So we want shot consistency. We know significantly that power that this already has is going to diminish significantly, and that's more so inherent to the design, okay? Because there's not enough chamber volume here. This is the regulator, and from here the valve is is basically right here, and you know, when this hammer hits, the valve opens, and this space right here is not enough volume to compensate for a power. Okay, so we know, but we're gonna test it. We haven't even shot it. We just wanted to see if you know, how it looks, if it's, you know. But that's that. We know that it requires a bigger volume, bigger plenum is more the name it would be in this case. But yeah, we'll see. We'll give you folks an update. We're planning to take it out into the field if the weather is decent, and do some accuracy and some testing, some actual field testing, because we've now fitted it. This one is the Falcon 4-18 by 44, so it's fairly light. The way it's configured, it's probably about it was weighing 7.7 pounds without this, so I'm guessing maybe 7.8 or 7.9 now with the regulator. But that's that. I mean, reliability wise, I mean, I like this adjustable stock. It's great, but you know, I don't know about reliability, you know. It's great, but oh shoot. Okay, so the pin, same thing happened with the other one. The pin just fell out, but oh crap. Okay, the pin just fell out. Okay, the pin just fell out. I'm going to fix that. Same thing that happened with the other one. It just fell out. I was just carrying it and moving it about, and then I did that and something fell out, and that was the pin, that pivot pin that adjusts the buttstock. But we can take care of that. It's easy fix, but that's no biggie. But this is the thing that is to be expected. New company from China, and again, as said, that might be the culture, that this might be high standards in their country or countries like that, but when you bring it to a very competitive market like US, where our people are pretty much spoiled and we want the best of the best, and yeah, this is just not gonna do. So hang tight, stay tuned everyone, and we'll update you folks as far as this goes. I know there are some questions regarding that. We'll have to modify this thing to be adjustable. I've already had some ideas in my head that, but we have other projects going on. So yeah, we're gonna sort this out so we can make it adjustable, but it's going to take some modification. But we'll try out the regulator, see how it is, and we'll try out some modifications to see how we can adjust that hammer spring tension to get a better shot-to-shot consistency with or without the regulator. So and you know, because we really want the power as well, but the way it is with power, it's not even like I don't know. Anyway, that's it for now. Thank you for watching, and hope to see you folks on the next one. There are more videos to come, lots of things going on, compressors, rifles, modifications, tuning, teardown. The next video after our initial test run on the field with this one will be a teardown of this rifle. So that's the plans, that's what's happening or in the works. So hang tight, and thank you for watching. All right.
People on YouTube, you call me a homo, but you think I stand by this? Well, that shit is a no-go. You're all coming one, because what